play along with me and conduct our own formal little research study. I want to know if most of you feel like you hold tension in your back or in your hips. And please don't tell me both. You can tell me neither, which would be good, but don't tell me both. And this is why don't tell me both, because I've been getting a lot of questions on this one, so I feel like it's important to talk about. So you can totally have tension in your back and your hips both when you push your hips forward and then lean back into it. So you're going to get tension here and you're going to get tension here. And you are right that you have tension in both places. But that's why I'm trying to offer you other things to consider besides just where you hold tension, because when I do this, I can have tension in both places, but my legs are rolling out. I cannot stand like this and roll my legs in. Okay, you can see this outward and I can. Okay, so along those same lines, if I am leaning into my hips like this, it's rolling my legs out. I cannot roll my legs in. It's also creating tension in the back of my pelvic floor. I'm tightening up around my bum, around my anus, okay? But the front of my pelvic floor is lengthening. There's not a whole lot going on here, as opposed to this, where you can see the outline of my bum change. Like this is tension in my bum. This is tension only in my back. I am not holding tension in my bum right here. You can see that the outline of my butt changes, right? And I'm still maintaining tension in my back. So this would be tension in my back. This would be tension in my bum that is also holding onto the back. But the mechanics that we're really concerned with is coming from your bum. And then when I go like this, now I'm tightening in the front of my pelvic floor and lengthening in the glutes and the back of my pelvic floor. So even though the tension exists in both places, what we're really concerned about is the mechanics of it, because what we want to change is what that means for the rest of your body and for your function. So it is splitting hairs a little bit, but it's a nuance that I want to share with you because I think that it's worth learning in order to unravel the pelvic floor issues, the back pain, the hip pain, etc. that you might be dealing with. And so when I go into this position where the back of my hip and the back of my pelvic floor are off the radar, are not working, that position rolls my hips inward. So this way rolls me inward. Whereas if I tuck my bum under, even if I'm still holding tension here, my hips are rolling outward. And so there's a number of different things to pay attention to problem solve and figure out which one is you. What's going on at your pelvic floor, front or back? What's going on at your hips? What's going on in your back, etc.
Start moving right away, as soon as you're comfortable, and many movements too. I mean, if you're in the hospital bed, you can do things like raise your arms up and down. You can take big belly breaths. You can carefully get out of your hospital bed and maybe even just walk to the end of the bed and get back into the bed. As the days go by, you'll know what your body is able to do without pushing it. And I've attached a free resource down below with regards to the top 5 things that you may want to consider in the earliest stages of your cesarean birth rehab. Check it out. Research is showing that true pubic symphysis dysfunction during pregnancy is actually rooted in a biopsychosocial model. Well, what does that even mean? That means if there is any fear of pain, any shame or feeling of overwhelm with regards to the pregnancy and the birthing experience, that can actually heighten one's experience of pain. So one of the biggest things you can do is be prepared. There are a lot of other things, and I will link Dr. Sinead Dufour's account down below. She's phenomenal. She's the one I learned all about SPD from. And the other thing about being prepared is having information. So I will link the top 10 things about a cesarean birth that I wish every mom knew about.